everyone? Good morning. It is 8:37. I made myself an omelette and I got a black coffee, so that's what I'm enjoying today. And the awesome thing is, guys, I don't know if you've seen it, my weigh-in was 86.7 or 86.6, which is just freaking amazing. I'm just so stunned because that's exactly what I predicted, that I'm going to be dropping down that weight. And tomorrow I'm aiming for like a clean 86. And yeah, this is just, I'm so freaking excited now, and really happy and full of energy because my sleep, I showed you guys before, right? There you go. You can see sort of the waves at the top means that's when I'm awake, bottom means when I'm asleep. You can see I had my little wee break in the middle. Well, I went to bed at 1 and I woke up at 8, but somehow I had a really good night's sleep. And it's good to track stuff, I think. Sometimes, especially, yeah, obviously in health I track everything, but I just feel amazing. I'm sort of eating my, like I told you in the last week, I switched from intermittent fasting to actually having breakfast. The reason being is that I want to have my carbs early in the day and then later on. So I might have some oats after this, because they affect your weigh-in in a way. A lot of bodybuilders, what they do in the last week, they actually go ketonic, so they actually drop down. They're nearly on 0 carbs the last couple of days. Most of them are. I'm not going to do that, but they also manipulate their water weight, which I will do as of today. So yesterday I was drinking like normal 4 liters of water. Today I'm only going to drink 2 liters of water. Tomorrow, until my shoot, I'm basically drinking maybe like this much. So I'm dropping my water weight just a little bit, to look more vascular and try to get this ripped physique if I can. I mean, we know I'm not super ripped, but I'll try my best. I'm not faking anything because I'm telling you what I'm doing. Yeah. So see how it goes. I'm really freaking excited. I want to answer a question from Chris M. .mm. I wanted to answer a question from Chris M, or like a statement, and it's a really long statement saying, yeah, because maybe you remember in the last video I asked you what makes a perfect physique for you guys, and Chris M answered with a really long and nice comment saying, Mark, this is why I think you have the perfect body and what I like and what I don't like, and that in the that also that you don't take steroids, that you're honest, that you're educated, because not a lot of people in the fitness realm have a master's degree. You find 1 or 2 which have a bachelor degree, but not a master's degree in sports science. So I want to really say I appreciate this comment. I think it's so amazing, and I feel really, blessed in a way that you feel that way. And then I think someone else, Virok Cash or someone, who answers on that comment and says, Mark, you don't look anything like a perfect body and so on. Look at Jeff's side and these other bodybuilders who do aesthetics. Now this is what I want to clarify here, guys. First of all, I didn't ask if I have the perfect body. It is what you think is the perfect body. So it doesn't mean to say giving me compliments of how good I look. That's not what this question was about. The question was about what is your preference. So if Virok likes aesthetic looks like Jeff's side, that's totally okay. That's, there's nothing wrong with it. Just bear in mind, that was never my goal. I don't want to compete in bodybuilding. This is just something I don't like, and I don't think it is healthy, because the competition, you've lost that competition anyway if you're not on juice, if you don't take steroids, if you don't take any sort of supplementation, like to be honest, a steroid, right? I mean, that's what it is. So if you're not willing to take that, you're not going to make it in that industry, and that industry is driven by money, because it is about who gets the best, who gets a contract, who wins, like Mr. Olympia and so on. It's a massive, it's such a big driven, but this is with all sports, you know, don't get me wrong, most sports are money driven at the moment. I mean, look at soccer, right? Soccer, when I was younger, that was when the commercializing began. But when I was at uni, that is when it really started to peak, and you know, people paid 20 million, 30 million, 50 million for one soccer player, and you're like, are you nuts? Why are you paying so much money for a soccer player? But obviously it's the amount of people wanting to watch it, and then obviously the amount of money going into this needs to be spent somewhere, and you know, people like talking about it. Long story short, I appreciate that you guys comment on my body. I just want to know what you think in terms of a body in general, not my body. And yeah, so I appreciate both comments from Chris and from Virok. You know, there's hate is I didn't feel this is hate. I think it's valuable comment, and like I said, I appreciate every sort of critique and stuff. There's not something like, oh yeah, we always have to pat Mark on the back and says how nice he is. If I fuck up in a video, if you think I'm talking bullshit, or if I do something wrong, you know, point the fingers at me and say, Mark, what are you talking about? This is not right, blah blah blah. You know, this is discussion here. It should be a discussion. It should not be a one-way conversation. But I know you guys know that, so I just want to clarify that here. Alright, I love this question. This is a really great one from Solai. He says, do you follow a daily diet schedule? Do you follow a daily diet schedule? And he means like, do you have like a set meal every day, or do you just eat what you feel like for? Lean, of course. Now, Solai, this is great that you're asking this, because if you've been following me now here on this journey, you know that I always encourage you guys to feel more than just to stick to a plan which you get. I'm going to talk about how I do it with myself and how I do it with my clients, just to give you a bit of an idea. Now, I've been doing this for ages, so I know my body really, really well. I know what it responds to, what it doesn't respond to, how much I really know when I'm full. I know when I ate too much. I know when I'm in a deficit. I just can feel it by sort of the hunger tells me, not that I'm starving, but I can feel a bit of a hunger crave, and then I know I'm in a deficit. But it's not like it's massive, like 2,000 calorie deficit. So I've got a very, very good feeling for that. And you've probably seen this now on this 30 days. I talked about this when I went on my little cheat day, and now today I'm the lowest within the whole 30-day period. And all I did was I really listened to how I felt. That day when I did that cheat day, I really needed food because I was run down in the gym, not performing and stuff. That's the exact time when you need to push in some calories to get your metabolism back up and make sure you stay on track. So that's how I roll for myself. I know also in terms of calories, roundabout roughly. You know, if you eat a banana, or if you eat a piece of meat or cereal and so on, I know how much calories that is. So at the end of the day, that's how I do it for myself. I really know my body. I can feel if I'm hungry, if I need food, if I don't need food, if I'm in calorie surplus, deficit, or maintenance. I look in the body, I look in the mirror, I look at my body, I weigh myself every day. So I've got a really good indication of where I am, right? I mean, this is just me. Now, how do I do this with clients? Obviously, that would be the wrong approach to say, oh yeah, just go how you feel, because they say, I'm going to feel hungry, so I'm going to eat. So the way I do it with my clients is, if you would sign up with me for coaching, what would happen is you get sent a questionnaire, you know, you go through it a little bit, and one part of it is sending me a food diary of 7 days without changing anything. So you basically do what you do as of the day you emailed me, and write down every single piece of food which enters your mouth for 7 days. That's what you're going to be sending me. And then based on that, I calculate how much calories you eat on average a day. And from then, I'm going to use a formula and your body measurements and so on, whatever I get then, you know, on additional information, and then I calculate where you should be. And then we'll look at that the calorie deficit. Let's say you're eating 5,000 calories, right? And I calculated you should be 2,500. I'm not going to give you a diet plan which is 2,500 now, because you're going to have a gap of 2,500 calories. And yes, you will lose a lot of weight at the very beginning, but the problem with that sort of massive calorie deficit is that, you know, your metabolism will shut down very quick. You're going to lose more muscle than fat And there's so many things linked to that. So what we do is we moderately take calories away from your starting point of the 7 weeks, if that makes sense, 7 days, if that makes sense. And that's sort of how we start. And then obviously I give you a macronutrient split, meaning we look at carbs, fats and proteins, that they're all working fine. I talked about that loads of times, how I do it, like sufficient protein, 20% fat, rest carbs. That's where we all start. And then based on that diet, where we all start means if the information I got from you is sufficient. If you tell me, you know, for whatever reason a test comes back with I'm carb sensitive or something, we might not take that much carbs. We might focus more on protein or stuff like that. So it's a individual thing I do with every client, and that's why I say, you know, that's why I think this one-to-one coaching is the best you can get on the internet, because you get, you know, tuition from a professional on a daily basis. Yeah, and then as you progress, we do weigh-ins, we have Skype coaching sessions, and what happens is that you will learn. I'm teaching you because I don't want you to be relying on me all the time, because I'm not going to be here for the rest of your life, right? I might be holding your hand for the next 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 20 weeks, half a year, or even a year, depending on how much weight you need to lose. And after that, you will be learning so much information, not only just for free on this YouTube channel, also if, you know, obviously if you pay for it and see me one-to-one. But my approach was always teaching people, giving them something that they can do themselves. So this whole feeling approach I have, I teach you throughout my coaching, meaning that we might be trying intermittent fasting, or we might try a full day of fast or something like that, just to give me feedback. How did you feel after you did that fast? You know, you need to be able to distinguish between, because there's a difference between being hungry and being physically hungry, and the physically hungry one is the one which is important, not the feeling hungry. Because feeling hungry, like I told you loads of times, people, when they, you know, you go out on the street and you ask someone, they say, I'm starving, I need something to eat. Fucking hell, you're not starving. You know, you can just go to the next corner shop and grab a candy bar. No one in Europe is starving, really. You know, go to Africa, go to, you know, these countries, third world countries, these guys are starving. So to get an idea of what it means that your body wants food, you need to deprive it of it for an extended period of time. So we do sometimes like a day worth of fast, just drinking water, and at the end of the day, the next time you wake up, you will feel physically hungry. That's the hunger you want to feel to be able to lose weight, okay? But I don't want you to try this. This is something I only do with clients face-to-face with tuition. So just because I told you now how sort of I do this, please don't try this. Only do this if you're in contact with me. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this was a massive answer for your question, and I don't know, I just got carried away. I hope it helped you, and if it didn't answer your question, just ask me another one. Yeah, so the weather is really nice today, which means, yeah, so it's 9 o'clock on the dot, and that was actually when my alarm should be going off, but somehow I woke up naturally from the sunlight around 7:30, so I did all my little things, like, you know, answering some of your questions, eating and getting ready. So I'm really early now, which is good, and I love this weather. It's like, it's perfect, nearly. You know, it's like blue sky, and oh, I can see an aeroplane. This means luck for me, because I'm gonna be traveling soon. Guys, this is awesome, awesome. Alright, what's going on, guys? It is now 9:47, my next session's at 11, so I've got a really good amount of time. Well, I have a bit of my, yes, double espresso. I'm a freaking little Charlie. Can you see the light coming through? Okay, anyway. The bartender just reminded me, this is the funny thing, I never know about bank holidays and birthdays and all that stuff if other people don't talk about it. So the bartender just said Germany's playing today, which is good because I still have time to figure out where to go to watch it. I thought they're playing tomorrow. Why that I still have time to... Why is my watch so dirty? Still have time to find a place. So Germany versus Italy in the quarterfinals. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Just a little soccer talk in between. I'm also listening to my favorite podcast again, and I decided when the challenge is over, because I do really love studies and stuff, so I'm going to be sharing some of the insights of what I've heard in studies, which I think might be beneficial, and it's actually really cool what's going on in the sort of fitness, health, sports, human conditioning, physiology sort of realm. Did you understand what I was talking about? I want to answer a question from Jules B. He's saying, what do you think about fat trainers, like people who don't know how to get in shape themselves? I talked about this earlier with someone actually face to face, because they were saying, yeah, basically the exact same question. Now, I have a split opinion on that. In a way you could say, well, if a personal trainer is fat, how is he ever going to make me look skinny, right? Because you buy what you see, and in fitness this is the most important thing, that you go to a trainer who looks like you think you want to look like, right? I mean, it's just a monkey see, monkey do sort of thing. But I also know there are very, very successful trainers out there who are not in great shape. Let's say Gunnar Peterson, right? He's the top personal trainer in the US, and I'm not, don't get me wrong when I say he's not in shape. For his age, he is in very good shape, but he doesn't have a six-pack. He doesn't look like a fitness model, but he trains Kim Kardashian and all the A-list celebrities. That's on the side. And then when you think about, let's say, training a skill, like gymnastics, for example, I always think of the trainer I knew when we were at sports uni, and he was training the national team for gymnastics and the girls team for gymnastics. And the thing is, he wasn't in shape. He was really not in shape. But what he was good at spotting those kids when they did double backflips with double twists. He knew how to spot that person. And that was awesome to see, because it's so difficult to have that skill. And it's more important that he's able to teach a child to be able to double backflip with a double twist, rather than showing them, look, this is how it looks like. What you then do as that trainer, you just take someone who can do it and say, well, can you please demonstrate the double back, double twist? And that's that, really. So in terms of trainers, when we talk about learning skills, I don't think it doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter. In terms of fitness, in the fitness industry, to be honest, I want to lead by example, meaning I want to be in the best shape of my life and inspire other people to do so, and then maybe take me up as their trainer, because they say, Mark, you know what, I believe in you, I believe in what you say, and you walk the talk, you're honest, you don't bullshit around, you tell us how it is, and that's why I want you as my trainer. Now, if I would be fat, like wobbly, and I don't want to make fun of this, but I just want to say, if I would look differently, would you trust what I say? Just think about it for a second. And there you have the answer, really. In a way, it's sad, because it shouldn't be that way, because you judge people by how they look like and so on. But on the flip side, if you're selling fitness, if you're selling health and well-being, you should be healthy yourself. But then I think of a Zumba trainer, right? I went to this Zumba class one day. Don't judge me on that at all. But this guy, gay guy, I think 300 pounds, 400 pounds, massive. I had the most fun in my life. Because at that time, my girlfriend, she wanted to go to, to Zumba class. And I was like, holy fucking shit, this guy is awesome. He had so much freaking energy. I had a freaking laugh in that class, and that's what I appreciate. So obviously personality plays a massive role in this as well. So again, long, massive answer for this tiny little question. I hope you got value out of it. Keep asking questions right now in the comment box. Let's see what else I can answer. Alright, next one without a hat. Cryptic Chaos is saying, Mark, I count my calories. However, it's convenient for me to eat cheap food, like places like McDonald's. Should I avoid these foods even if I track my calories? Well, you're basically talking about the if it fits my macros, so the IIYMF, if it fits my freaking macros approach. So that basically means you have your calorie target, let's say 2,000 calories a day, and you can eat whatever you want. You can eat pizza, pasta, McDonald's, Twinkies, donuts, put them into your thing that you're exactly on 2,000 calories, and it works. There was this professor from, where was that? US University, Utah University, I think. And he demonstrated, it's a university professor, he went on this Twinkie Dorito donut diet and he lost weight just to demonstrate it is not about, it's just to demonstrate how important it is to watch your calories and that calories is the main driver in weight loss. Would I suggest doing that? No, of course not. Because what happens is if you eat all these cheap foods like McDonald's and so on, you're missing out on so much nutritious, fibril, vitamin sort of food, which will, when I go to McDonald's, I remember, I eat a Big Mac, I eat a whatever, burger. I'm hungry straight after I ate that. I don't feel satiety, I don't feel satisfaction at all. I just want to eat more of that shit. So if you put that all into your MyFitnessPal or your tracking app, you're going to get to your 2,000 calories probably after breakfast. So that's not a good idea. Now, is it a good idea to do it once in a while? Yes, of course. You know, go to your favorite place and eat some junk food if you feel like it. But, you know, you have to really make sure, first of all, that there are two things. Make sure you can control yourself, so when you go to these places that you don't go nuts. And then the second thing is don't do it every day. Only do it if you feel like you don't have another choice. And also, I'm thinking of making a series on this podcast, going to fast food restaurants and showing you how to eat there healthy. If you want me, if you want me to do this, just leave a like here and leave a comment in the comment box saying, Mark, yeah, we want to see this healthy fast food challenge. That would be awesome. I would be up for it to go to McDonald's and show you how you guys can eat there healthy, because you can. Okay, last question I want to answer is from Volty1432, and he says, Mark, I wonder, what do you think about the term of being alone? So what he means by that is that when you change something in your circumstances in your life, that you sometimes, if you choose a healthy lifestyle, whatever, and your friends still go drinking booze and stuff, that you might separate yourself from those friends and you become sort of a lonely soul on this, path of becoming healthy and so on. And to quote him, he says, being alone because you start being different from other people. And I ask, is this, have you experienced this yourself? Volty, I am the living example of exactly your question or your statement here, because I've never done anything what the crowd has been doing. I've been always going the exact opposite way. Just, first of all, I was dyslexic in school. I wasn't the smartest guy in school. I was like, because I lived in Asia when I was younger, I came back to Germany. I didn't speak German, so I needed to learn German in school. Then I was like, I'm going to talk about my history maybe a bit more. That might be motivating, because it was freaking hard for me to get through school, to go to university, to get my degree. That wasn't easy for me. I mean, especially for me, if you know my circumstances. So that was the first thing. I went through all these hoops to get where I am today. And, I didn't drink alcohol until I was, until I was 20 years old, which means all of my friends, they were all drinking. I wasn't, because I was competing in sports. My goal was to go to the European champions in martial arts. So I remember when I started university, sometimes the judo center was the place where you could train in the mornings, and I went there with my little recorder of music at 6 a.m. in the mornings. Everything was dark, and I went there to train my forms for the martial arts competition. And this was so ridiculous. They didn't even switch on the light. It was just me training there because my goal was I was freaking focused. I knew I wanted to become world champion, And you know, I wanted to really go for it and make something out of my life, and that's why I didn't give a freaking shit what other people were thinking. I was like, this is where I am, this is where I'm gonna go, and that's the way I'm gonna do it. And if it means I need to sacrifice my friend drinking booze, who gives a flying what shit, guys? Just leave them where they are. They're gonna turn around one day and they're gonna say, what the hell is going on? And this is exactly what happened. I opened the biggest gym with a friend of mine in Germany. It's called the Move Artistic Dome. You can Google it. It still exists today. It's the biggest center for parkour, free running, and so on. And that was a massive achievement because, you know, within that sort of industry or realm, we really shattered the earth. We really, you know, made it work. So I always encourage you that if you just have a little think about where you want to go. So I always encourage you to do what you want to do, and being alone is not a bad thing. Being alone just means that you know exactly what you want, and knowing what you want will get you where you want to be. It's freaking that easy, guys. And don't let anyone else talk you out of it. All these, you know, you have it here on YouTube, you have a couple of haters, you have this, people don't, oh, you're never going to be this, and blah blah blah. Who gives a flying shit, guys? Who really? If I would pay attention to that, I would be crying in my bed like, oh god, this guy said this to me and this guy said that to me. You know what I learned? If you try to please everyone, that doesn't work. If you go your own way, and if you go your own way, meaning you're focused, you're passionate about what you do, people start following you, people start asking you for advice, people start wanting to be with you, rather than you trying to beg everyone, oh, can I be part of you? You know, just forget that. It's good to have someone you admire, it's good to have someone to look up to. I've got loads of mentors, so to speak. I've got loads of people I admire, which I, you know, not in a pedestal way saying, yeah, they're God and I'm not. That's not what I mean. I mean by inspirational, that what they've done with their life is something inspirational. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Rather than saying, you've got always two options as looking at someone. Let's say Mark Zuckerberg, Richard Branson, Bill Gates, I don't know. Like the people who are at the top of their game, of their invention, of whatever they do. And now you could say, well, I'm jealous. You know, they've got so much money, they can do whatever they want in the world. You know, you can be, and how does that make you feel when you think about it that way? But what if you take a step back and say, you know what? This guy is amazing. What he has achieved, just try to be inspired by what he's talking about. When he opens his mouth, when Steve Jobs had this talk at university, if you haven't seen that, you have to watch that. There's so many value bombs dropping out of his mouth. Every single sentence he opens his mouth. If you pay attention to that, and if you can apply that to your life, guys, you're in freaking charge. This is amazing. Look up to people. Find people who are where you want to be. Listen to what they're doing. And I promise you, you will get there. It's happening on this freaking channel. You're listening to some of the stuff I'm saying. I've got the first transformational picture of some of you guys, which is just freaking amazing. I can't believe it. You know, this is why I love doing what I do, to help you guys get where you want to be. Boom! Finished with my sessions, my clients, I mean, with my 1,000 rep challenge. And now I'm gonna go to something very special, which is a candy shop. And it's such an amazing shop because, you know, I obviously want to celebrate that I finished. I'm not going to eat it today, I'm going to eat it tomorrow, but I don't want to go out tomorrow and buy stuff. So stay tuned, this is going to be really cool. So 3, 2, 1, boom, here we are. Kingdom of Sweet. Yes, thank you very much. Alright, so I'm back home now, it's like 5 o'clock. Let me show you what I bought. Ready? And boosh! Yeah! So, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. This is like a super high-end chocolate company you normally find in hotels. Another Reese peanut butter cups. As you can see, I like peanut butter, and a Hershey's cookies and cream. Hard bit is, you know, tomorrow's my weigh-in, not today, not to eat it now. So I'm gonna pack it away and make sure we put it in here. Put it in here and close it. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Yes, I'm in the cinema now. I'm going to be watching Independence Day, and yeah, I got some snacks in terms of a water bottle and a bit of chicken and an apple. So really everything you need to have fun in the cinema, right? Yeah, not me really. I don't enjoy not having ice cream or something in the cinema, but you know, my goal is to hit a good weight tomorrow and be sort of as lean as I can. So that's all I'm going to be having. And yeah, so guys, this is it for today. So punch the like button, punch the subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Last day, final day.